Good morning. I'm Garbo Hearn, and I am the director and a bookseller at Pyramid Art Books and Custom Framing. And I am excited to host this opportunity for you to get to know Arkansas children's author Maria Hoskins. Maria has been a bookseller in our bookstore for the last 10 years, a customer and turned author. And there's a story behind that, but we don't have that much time. But I'd like to introduce Maria Hoskins.
Okay. Good morning. Thank you, Garbo. Thank you so much. And yes, and thank you for your support for all these years during this book journey. And it's been an enjoyable journey, I must say. So we don't have a lot of time. So I want to share, as I promised, for the next 15 minutes, just giving you all an overview of the books that I've written. And again, my name is Maria Hoskins. I actually live in a town called Mayflower, Arkansas. So most of the stories, or all of the stories that I'm going to share with you, have some basis of my childhood. And I think you will enjoy them. And I think your customers will enjoy these stories. So my genre is children's holiday books, K through 5. But one book I have specifically, I'll share with you later, goes in a little older age group, maybe the 3rd through the 8th grade. Oh, so with that, let's go ahead and get into the books. So the first book, let's go to the next slide, is the first holiday that I wrote about was Christmas. Of course, Christmas is my very favorite holiday. And that book is Christmas Night on the Farm. So the Christmas holiday book, um, there's one thing specifically about this book that I had in mind when I started writing it, is that it would not have Santa Claus in it. So we have so many books that tells the story of old Saint Nick and Santa. I wanted something specifically that could be shared in Sunday school classes or wherever schools anywhere. And I thought about my time on the farm visiting my grandmother here in Mayflower, Arkansas. So that's where the title Christmas Night on the Farm comes from. Again, no Santa Claus, but in the book, it also includes lots of what the children love, my angels. And it talks about the birth of Jesus Christ. In also the book, you'll find the smells and the vision of Christmas, snow, railroad, the train, different sounds that we heard on the farm. Students can relate to the story, not just in Arkansas, but anywhere around the world where they enjoy Christmas. It is fiction, and all of my books are considered to be fiction. One thing about each one of the books that you'll find is the illustrations. The illustrations are done by artists, and they have done a wonderful job. So not only are they getting a wonderful Christmas book, but they're getting a book with some wonderful art in it, and it encourages students to learn. Each book includes writing exercises at the end of each story. Let's go to the next book. It's Thanksgiving. We just came out of Thanksgiving, right? And it sticks with everyone. Everybody loves Thanksgiving time with the meals and the food. And so I wrote about Grandma's Thanksgiving dinner. In Grandma's Thanksgiving dinner, of course, it's a holiday story, and children can relate to these stories. Why I don't write the books in first person? I write the books so as you read the story, not only are you hearing my story, but you're also thinking about your own experiences at Thanksgiving. So that's this book of Grandma's Thanksgiving dinner, and included in the book, each book encourages learning. Each book encourages writing. So, what will they learn in Grandma's Thanksgiving dinner? Well, they're going to learn about, oh, the food. What does grandmother do? She grows her own food in her own garden, and all the food on the table is from that garden. So, there are opportunities for students to think about, families to talk about healthy eating. and just manners at the table, the time of no cell phones at the table. So it's a wonderful story. Again, some fabulous illustrations. This illustrator, her name was Paige Mason, and she did a wonderful job with the character-like characters in this story. At the end of the story, I'm encouraging students to write about their Thanksgiving story, of their own Thanksgiving story, what happened at their home at Thanksgiving. So again, keeping them engaged, not only into reading and thinking about their own Thanksgiving holiday, but encouraging them to write about it. So wonderful Thanksgiving holiday story. The next book, please. So I have one award-winning book that I'm happy to share with you. Down Home in Arkansas, a family reunion story. This book received the African American Historical and Genealogical Society International Book Award for the children's book section. This book is the book that I mentioned that exceeds, it goes to about third to about the eighth grade, is more appropriate for this particular book. But first, let me tell you, Down Home in Arkansas, family reunion story. Don't let it just get it twisted because it says Arkansas. Family reunions happen all over the world, right? And this is about our story here in Arkansas. But in the end of the book, after the story, there is its own curriculum, I would say. Teachers, families, all can get engaged to helping students learn about their family history. The genealogical section in the back of the book allows them to build their family tree. And this artist is amazing. His name is Wade Hampton. He is an exceptional artist and did a fabulous job taking my thoughts and my experiences and my story and putting them to pictures for this picture book. You will find this book to be a fantastic way to get uh, your attendees, the people that come into your bookstore, your clients, engaged in those that are learning about family history. You know, there is a lot out there right now about family history, and people are excited to learn about it. So this is a great way to get your clients engaged with their children into learning about their own family history. So let's go to the next book. The Easter holiday. So Easter, the cover of the book just grabs your attention with the Easter eggs. Yes, so My Easter Story is the name of the Easter book. This book encourages, again, reading and writing. The activities in the back of the book, they go from that pre-K all the way through, I would say, past the sixth grade, because you have students that want to engage into writing poetry. So you know what did we do at Easter time? We gave our Easter speech, right, at church. So it talks about what do you do at Easter? So it just goes through a normal time of preparing for Easter and what all happened at Easter and all the way through the Easter speech and then finally the Easter egg hunt. What you'll find at the end of this story is that the little bitty pre-K kids will have their page to color their Easter basket. And I'm telling you, when I do this event, they get excited when they see that Easter basket page. And then other students that may be a little older, that like writing prose and poetry, that they can engage in writing their own stories, writing their own speech, and they find it to be a very entertaining book. But as we know on the education side, they're reading something that they can relate to, which encourages reading and writing, which improves education for the students. So that is My Easter Story. Next book. So this book, I would say, is this the book that's not the holiday book, but everybody loves animals. Kids love animals. So I had to write about Pawpaw's Pets. But in a way, it's not a holiday book, but we can focus on one thing and the dedication of the book. If your readers will take a time to read that dedication, Pawpaw was a veteran. He was a highly decorated veteran. And so as you see him in this slide with his Vietnam veterans hat on, or Korean, excuse me, his Korea and Vietnam hat on, he loves his military story. We get to talk a little bit about your family members that were veterans that served in the armed forces. And so this is, so it's, we say not a holiday book, but then it still has that component of Veterans Day. So Pawpaw loves his animals and his animals love Pawpaw. So the story takes the students on the day-to-day adventure of Pawpaw and JR, his companion. They're holding, that he's holding in, is, I guess it would be his left arm, the little small dog. And JR and Pawpaw go on an adventure every day, and they walk. And as they walk, then the cats that you see on the cover, Sylvester and Goldie, walk behind Pawpaw. Nobody's, only Pawpaw and JR are on a leash, but the other animals just follow him as Dr. Doolittle. And then the geese come behind that, Lucy and Goosey. And then what do they find? They find a rooster. So it's an enjoyable story. At the end of the story, students get to engage with finding the animals that came to visit Pawpaw at his house. So I think you'll find that very entertaining. This illustrator and artist in this book, her name is Rhonda Adams, and she is actually a teacher. She is a GT teacher for one of the schools here in Arkansas. So she really got into knowing what her small students would be attracted to, and working with them every day. And this book has done very well with those students. And then the next story. And last but not least, the new release, which I'm very, very excited, and I believe that you'll be excited to share this book also. My Sister, My Friend. So the holiday that this book would associate it with would be Siblings Day, which is coming up in the spring of the year. But also, you can also use this book for a Disability Awareness Month. So there's a lot of ways to use to promote this book. This book, My Sister, My Friend, when you think about it, I want you to think about family, diversity, inclusion, and just love for sisters, siblings, and friends. It encompasses all of those thoughts. So this book is about the two sisters, but regardless of the sisters' inability or disability, just they're very different, but they don't focus on the differences that each one of them have. They focus on the love for one another. And I think that's what we do in our families. In our families, when we have people with special abilities or special needs, we don't tend to focus on that in the family. We focus on the love that we have for one another. And that's what we go with on a day-to-day basis. So it goes through just a normal, regular day in the lives of the two sisters. But at the end, it brings everyone together thinking about, again, this is how we operate, not only in this family, but this is a story of many, many families all around the world. This illustrator, we're introducing our new illustrator for this book. His name is Craig Stanley, and even though he is from Atlanta, Georgia, he does have some roots in Arkansas as well, but he is an amazing artist. The work is fabulous, as you can tell from the cover. Just wait till you get into the book. And I think I have one here with me. I wanted to share with you just to give you some examples. So, I don't normally pull it up, but I wanted just as a bookstore owner for you to be able to just see some of the amazing work that's included in this book. So you'll want to get a set of books so you can read them all and see them. Let's go to the next slide, because I want the bookstore, as a bookstore owner, to hear a little bit. I think we have just enough time. Just have about 1 minute. Do we have 1 more minute, Ms. Garbo? Are we at the end of our time?
You're good. You want to share
Okay.
with the bookstores what your programming is like during the pandemic? What are your offerings?
Yes, ma'am. So let's see, can we share with this video clip? It gives a little bit about book talks and you can see what we do. Okay, I can't hear it. So, well, I can't hear it. So you can't hear it. So let me just tell you that I'm able to do a virtual presentation with you. Yeah, there we go. Well, I'm able to do a virtual presentation with you at your bookstore. And we also will have these bags for you for the books that you're purchasing. So if you would consider, and when you're including these books into your store, if you purchase at least a minimum of 10 books, then I'm happy to join you for a story time at your location virtually. And also when the pandemic is not as bad, I look forward to being invited to come to your store to do an in-person event. Uh, the books are all available through Ingram, but we're offering a special promotion right now if you want to buy them direct. And let's go ahead and go to the next slide. So you can buy, like I said, directly from Ingram. You can buy direct from me or Miss Hearn at the Pyramid Books and Custom Framing. On my site, if you buy directly from me, they're 40% off, and she has a set rate what she sells for within her store. But we'll be happy to work with you there. And again, 30-minute to 1 hour virtual book talk with a minimum of 10 books purchased. So I just like to get to know you all. Want you to get to know me. And I'm sure that you'll find these books will be very helpful in your store. With that, I think I'll turn it back over to Ms. Hearn.
Great. Well, I find that Maria is very easy to work with. Her books are interactive with the reader and a great way to preserve memories. So I vote for you adding them to your collection. So thank you so much for participating, and we look forward to working with you in the future.
Thank you.